Welcome to my channel, Global Effect 1969. What I got for you today here, I got my FS 56 RC Stihl weed eater. What I ended up doing the other day, I was in a rush and I didn't realize I grabbed the wrong container. This is makes 2.5 gallons and I thought I had grabbed the smaller one. So I actually mixed this mixture right here, which is the 6.4 fluid ounces of oil, and I mixed it with 1 gallon of gas. So I'm actually running 20 to 1. And I noticed my weed eater usually starts with I warm it up, I turn it on and it turns off. I turn it on again, on the first try. And then it turns on real easy like that on the first try after I primed it and everything. But I noticed the last couple of times when I went to use it, it took like 3 or 4 pulls to get it going. I was like, that's just weird. I don't understand what's going on. And then I realized the other day when I seen the container laying out here empty, I actually put way too much oil. I don't know if you can see how dark that is from far away. I'll give you a close-up look in a minute. So I ended up putting way too much oil in there. And it still ran good and everything. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open this up right quick in front of y'all and show you how to check the spark plug and clean it if you have to, in case it got all gunked up with oil and sludge. The resistor screen, I'm going to pull that off and see if I got to clean it. It looked like it was clean, but either way I'm going to pull it off to make sure the maintenance hit, since I put too much oil and I ran 2 tanks of this with the oil of 20 to 1, and that's like way too much oil in there. But it's better too much oil than less. So what I did, I went ahead and make a new batch of oil and gas right here. Gas and oil, however you want to say it. And it sure ain't gonna look like this. This looks like pretty dark. And I wondered when I put it in a weed eater why it looked so dark like that. Now I know why. Alright. What I'm gonna do right here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull off this. Pull off the spark plug. And pull off the screen on the muffler there. I call it screen resistor. I don't know how to pronounce that. Other people call it. So I'm gonna pull off that and make sure it's clean. If it's not clean, I'm gonna clean it up. But the spark plug I want to take a look at for sure, because I don't want to run it with the spark plug all gunked up. And now I know why it was running like that. I am gonna go ahead and dump out the rest of that because I had just filled it up. I'm gonna dump out that fuel from there and put the right mixture in there and see if I can get it to start up again with just 1 pull like it was doing before. Because I don't like that when it's taking 3 pulls to start. I mean, that still ain't long, but 3 pulls is 3 pulls, and that's 2 pulls more than what I'm doing with a brand new weed eater, and I shouldn't be doing that. So here we go. Let me bring you close up here. I'm gonna start taking this apart, and we'll go from there. It is windy today, so you're gonna hear some wind. I'm gonna go ahead and just start taking everything apart right here. Of course, this is the filter cover. I'm gonna remove that first. I just don't want to mess up my weed eater, man. That's how you mess up your stuff, man. I'm gonna remove that. Just put it aside. On the top here, there's 1 screw. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off that one right there. That's loose right there. Go ahead and get that off of there right there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the back part right here. Got 1 there, 1 there, and 1 right there at the bottom. I mean, I can just burn the fluid out. I mean, basically that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna just burn it out, but I want to go ahead and I want to go ahead and clean everything up, man, the spark plug and everything else, because I don't want to leave it where it just change the gas out and stuff like that. And then, like I said, let me see, make sure I got that one all the way out. I want to make sure that the spark plug not already got gunked up and stuff, because I did run 2 tanks off that bad gas on here. Well, I don't know if you want to call it bad gas or overoiled gas. But I noticed, when I noticed it was working bad. Not like literally working bad, but let me put these here so I don't lose them. I'll put the screws there so I don't lose them, and I'll put this aside so when I go to use it in a minute. Okay, when it was starting up bad, here's another thing I noticed, man. I mean, it was harder to start up. I even noticed this. It didn't look that dirty in there before. So that's all that extra oil spitting out, where I put way too much oil in there. And here's where the little screen is, right here. The spark plug's right here. I could probably remove it if I just pop this up right here right quick. Let me see if I can pop that up instead of having to pull the whole thing out. But it is, they made these cords so short. And you can pop it up by pulling this off. But I kind of don't want to rip that, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it off the right way. This is a screen right here. What I'm going to go ahead and do, pull off the screen right quick and see if it looks bad or not. I use a flathead screwdriver, unscrew it right there. Don't lose your screw. And it's just a little bitty screen. We'll take a look at the screen, see if it got all clogged up or not. Not bad, not bad. See if we can put it, as you can see, right there, just a little speck where it was already getting dirty right there. What you can do is just get your screen, just give it a little quick clean with a wire brush. See, that cleared it up. There it is, simple as that. It's clean, man. The wire brush cleaned it up pretty good there. Look, you don't see all that gunk in between no more. That's pretty good. I like that. Now that we got that taken care of, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it back, the screen back in there, just slide it back in there, because it's already clean. Put it down, line it up right there, flatten it out. Put your screw in there, right there. You can put your screw right in there. So that's how simple it is to clean the screen. And the spark plug is simple to clean too, but I'm gonna take it off the other way instead of trying to force. I don't want to ruin that plug there, the plug wire, if we're trying to be in a hurry. So I got my screen back in there, screen's clean. All right, here we go. I removed this one before I cleaned the screen. Okay, I found this to put it on, makes it a lot easier. Okay, what I did here, I drew a line right here. Because we're going to remove this next, and this is going to come out of place. And then I drew a line right here in the center to line up with the center of this. So we know how to line this back up. So we can line this back up in the exact same place where we took it off from. And we don't put it too far in or too far out. And I put it on there to make it a lot easier to work on. Now we got the screen on the muffler all cleaned up. What we're gonna do is remove this now. And I've seen like maybe some people can try to pull it out to the top right here, but you really don't want to. The line is short. You don't want to mess that up. So we're gonna take the whole thing apart right here. What I'll do just flip it upside down right here. This works perfect because it's cushioned right there so I can work on it. So we're gonna remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one right here, we're just gonna loosen it up, back it up. That's for holding this bar when it's twisting. This is the one that comes with it right here, the tool. So we'll start removing all these right here. Let me start with this one first right here. And they're all the same size. And I'm actually reshooting this part because yesterday when I did it, all this stuff came apart and I had trouble with it. And so today we're doing it. I'm showing you the easy way so you don't have trouble with it. Okay, that's all the way loose. This one right here, I seem to have trouble catching. There it is right there. That's all loose right there. The center one, we just got to loosen it. That's actually from holds this bar from spinning. Then you got the other two right here we got to remove. Move it up a little bit right there. You got this one. Let me get this one up here first. Now here's the tricky part, because I don't want, if it bends, it bends, it's okay, because, not bend, but if it comes apart, it comes apart, but. This is where all it came apart yesterday, and then it's like it split open, all the trigger and everything come apart in there, and I had trouble putting it back together, lining it up, because I didn't know how it went. But I do know today, though. Today I'll be able to show you if it comes off again. Okay, now I got those screws off. I'm gonna flip it back over. See, now you can twist this easy. I don't know if you can see that. See that? That's why you want to draw that line. I'm gonna lay it flat right here. Because this plug is right here. When you go to pull this up, you go to pull this off. After you got the screws off of there, kind of go forward with it a little bit like that, so you can pull it off right there. Now you're to the spark plug right here. To remove the spark plug is easy. You're gonna pull that wire like that. Try not to mess with this at all, because if you do, all of this comes apart, and then you gotta refix all this over, and it's a pain, I ain't gonna lie. So try not to be moving this around too much. Leave it sitting like that, like you got it. Don't move this handle or nothing. Just remove this. Use your tool to remove the spark plug. And this is where I messed up, because when I went to go remove the spark plug, when I went to pull this handle right here, that's when all the discs came out of place, and it was a mess. It was a pain getting that back together the right way. So the best thing you can do is hold this together, hold it down like that. Make sure that you're down, that you got it on there. When you go to twist it, you see how it wants to move. Find a way to just hold it. Yeah, see, that won't work. I'm just trying to find a way to make it easy on whoever's watching this video, man, because like I said, this comes apart. It's a pain to get this trigger back on the right way. Pulled it off my choke there. Now you can either zip tie this together right here to hold it in place while you work on it, which would be easy. Make it a lot easier for you. Alright, let's see. I'm going to loosen this right here. Now you're gonna see what I'm talking about. When I go to loosen it, this might come apart right here. There you go. If you hit it like that lightly, then you can take that spark plug off easy. There you go. And you'll be able to twist it off and work on it. Oh man, it's pretty black. It shouldn't be black like that. It's gunked up in black, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that right quick. Lucky it didn't burn the plug, man. That's the worst thing. We don't want the plug burnt. So the plug's not burnt. We're just gonna give it a quick clean. Don't put too much pressure and bend the rod. Just using a wire brush on there. Give it a light clean. Yeah, cause when they was starting up, and I was like, man, it used to start in one pull. What's going on? I couldn't figure it out. And then I noticed when I was gonna actually mix some more gas, because I went through that gas, but I used it on my blower also, not just on the weed eater. That's when I noticed something was wrong there, and I was like, no way, I put way too much oil in it. Oh, that's the reason I opened this up, to clean it up. And we'll see once I change it out and put the new gas in there. Starting to look clean there. I don't know if you can see it. You want to lightly do it, not push too hard, because I don't want to bend the settings on there where we're supposed to be at. But you seen it was already kind of gunked up, man. You can actually see silver now and again. And I still got that old gas in there, but I'm gonna pour that out and then put the new gas that I mixed that's real good and see if it starts starting up on one pull again. Cause I didn't like that. I like, man, this new weed eater, and I'm having to pull like 3 times to get it to start. That just don't make sense, man. That spark plug is clean pretty good there now. So it looks clean, don't look like there's any gunk in there or nothing. Got my little key knife. Just make sure no gunk is built there. I don't want to. If you're trying to clean like I'm doing right here, don't use something that's too thick and then spread out that plug, man. You don't want to spread out that plug. Keep it the same distance, that little wire right there. All right, man, that's clean right there. That's real clean. Okay, after you got it all cleaned up, you ready to put it back in. Everything's still in place right here. Go ahead and put it back in right here like that. Screw it in. Righty tighty. Remember, same thing when you're taking it off. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Hand tighten it all the way down. Put your wrench on there. And don't tighten too much on it. Just snug it up, man. What I'm doing is holding it back here by the muffler because I don't want this all to come apart. So just give it a snug tightening right there. Put it back on. Alright, what I did, want to go get a rag because I want to clean this, because this is actually why I knew something was up, because how dirty it was, man. Because it didn't look dirty like that at first. You see how I cleaned it all out? Because after I put too much oil in that gas, it started looking real bad like that. And I was kind of upset. I was like, why is it looking all dirty? And not only looking dirty, it's taking a couple extra pulls to turn it on. Yeah, you don't have to keep it super clean, but hey, man, that's how you know that something's up, right? You see how it looks cleaner now. If I wanna notice it was dirty like that, I wanna notice something was up, man. That's when I noticed, like, wait a minute, man, it's taking longer to start. Taking longer to start, and it's getting all dirty and they're black, full of crud and oil and stuff. Well, that's why right there, man. Yeah, I think that's pretty clean there. Even right here is a little bit dirty. See that? See how that's dirty right there? That's how much extra oil was shooting out of here and getting everything dirty, man. I'm gonna just clean that up to here before I put it back on too. Cause see, when you put it on there, that's what's on top right here, and that's why it was getting all dirty right there also. All right, man, there it is. Put your cover back on. You're gonna line up these holes with that, but remember, you're gonna come forward first. You get the spark plug. Make sure you go over the spark plug. Come forward, dip it in there like that. Lightly put it in place. Line it all up. It should line up. Remember, you don't want the sucker to come off the wrong way, because then you're screwed. They're right there. I'm having a little trouble. Just twist the wire that way. Dip it back in there like that. There it goes. Now it lays in there flat. Once you got it in there flat like that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and put this top one on first. That way I hold it in place when I flip it upside down. If I can get it to catch. I just had to move the cap a little bit forward right there. There you go. I felt it fall in the hole right there. Just screw it in there. We're gonna flip it back upside down. Like I said, I had this on there to make it easier. Don't let it snap. Don't let all this open up as you're putting it on there. Drop the screws in there. We're just gonna put them down, not all the way. We just want to get them all started. These are still in there. They didn't fall out. They're not screwed in, but they're still in the hole right there. This middle one we want to tighten up last, because that's what holds the bar completely on the where you want to level that when you spin it. Like right now, see it's spent the wrong way. Let's get this one started. Get the other one over here. So we got everything basically on there pretty good. Now we just got to tighten everything, but make sure this is aligned wherever we need it at. So, since I already got it on there and everything's good to go, it's working the right way. And we got these kind of snug at least. What you want to do is flip this back over like this. And then line up your line. You see the line, I got the black line right on the money. But this part right here, remember I drew that black line there? You want to twist that right there and put it right on there. The reason for drawing that line and putting it there, because you want this level, see that? Of the head level right there. If you don't draw that line, pay attention over there. And you accidentally put it together like that, which I did in my first video, and that's why I had to redo this part. Because I messed up and it was too long correcting everything and showing you that video. And I ended up putting it all crooked like this, so make sure you draw your line. And then that other line across right there, so you know exactly where you're going to line it up at. That's why once it's lined up like that, you can even, if you want to, like draw another line in case you think you're going to mess it up when you flip it over. Just draw another line at the bottom too. That way when you flip it over to tighten it, you know where your line is. Now we're going to flip it over like that. And I'll show you that line I just drew right there. This is the other line I just drew right now, which actually, maybe draw a line in the bottom, on the top side of it and the bottom side before you start taking it apart. It'd probably be a lot easier that way than drawing a line afterward on the second spot. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything up, because everything's lined up right there. The first one I'm going to tighten up that I got lined up is going to be these two right here. Don't tighten up this one, because this will tighten up that bar, the shaft right here. And if you tighten up this shaft first, it's going to pop this out and the screw won't be able to get in there the right way like you want it to. So go ahead and tighten up these two first. Tighten them up snug. Don't go too much and break it. Kind of tight, but not too tight. You don't want to mess it up. Go ahead and get the second screw right here. Same thing. Everything's lined up. Give it a snug. Get these two down here. Go ahead and tighten them up. And after, good advice for this, after you've done this and you run it a little bit, check them again later and make sure that they didn't come loose. Make sure that you didn't leave them too loose. I mean, I said snug them up, but you also want to make sure you didn't leave them loose and they end up with a vibration coming off and falling out. See, I don't want to go too much and break it. I'm afraid to break it. Okay, I got that down. Now I'm going to do this one over here. Tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. Make sure your line is still right there lined up. Go ahead and tighten this one up. This is what holds this bar from spinning. And of course you don't want to tighten this one up first, because what it'll do is push this out, because it's pushing on this bar. You want to tighten this one up last. This is going to actually hold this from spinning. So just give it a snug, don't tighten it too much, and then jam up the bar in there. So see right there, we got it all ready. So just double check everything. There, that one needed a little bit more. Alright, then double check that one again. And then right there, look, you're good to go right there, man. That's crazy. Now we can go ahead and move this over like this. That way, when it breaks it like that, you don't have to move it back a little bit if you're bored. You can catch on pretty good right there, see that? We can go ahead and start putting the cap back on. Just maneuver in there a little bit. You'll be able to get it in there. Make sure everything lines up before you start screwing anything in there, man. Like it's gonna be off there a little bit here and there. Just wiggle it around, you'll get it in there. Right there's all pretty good. Everything's lined up pretty good right there. Like literally everything's lined up perfect the right way. You can go ahead and screw this back in. Like I said, when you put them in there, when you start putting the screws in there, don't tighten them up when you first put them in there. You want to make sure you got them all in there correctly, and then you can tighten them up. Because you don't want to put in there tighten one and then the cap's kind of crooked. When you go put the other one, you're going to put the screw in there crooked, and then you're going to strip it. You don't. That's the wrong thing to do right there. Now they're all snug. Now you can go ahead and whichever you want to start from. I'll start from this one right here. Tighten it up. Tighten this one up next. Then tighten this one up next. There you go. Now we're going to put the filter cover on. When you're going to put the filter cover back on, make sure you got this on the choke, on the second choke. You can have, if you have it up on the full choke, it's harder to put the cover on. If you have it on the second choke, on the half choke, because of this slot right here, that's why you'll be able to slide it on easy to put it on. See that? And if you got it up or down, you're going to have trouble trying to sneak this in there and get it in there. So like I said, right there you got it. You're able to slip it right in there like that. Put it back in there. And you can screw it right in. And then you're screwing it in, it's bringing in, closing up the gap right there. You see that gap closing up as you're putting it in there, see that? So don't think when you see a big old gap like, oh, it's wrong. No, you gotta get it in there like that. Now snug that up too. Don't put it too tight and break it. Don't forget. Remember, after you run it, make sure everything's on the right way. And then see your choke's ready to go right there. So you got it all back together, it's ready to run. What I want to do now is set it level and make sure that I lined it up level. It looks like it's unleveled a little bit. See, my handle's twisted a little bit that way. I need to bring it over a little bit more this way. I don't know if you can actually see it. See it, this is sitting flat. This is sitting twisted a little bit this way, it's twisted. So we want to correct that. Which I'm going to put this back under there because that held it pretty good in place, but I didn't quite have it twisted the right way. So right there, as you can see, the handle's twisted that way like this. This is already regular, and the handle's twisted that way. I got to loosen this middle one right here. And that should let me twist it the right way. This is the middle one I'm talking about. This is your adjuster screw for the shaft. Just loosen it. After you loosen it, go ahead and just twist it. You might have to loosen the other two at the bottom too, because it's a little tight there. I'm gripping it pretty good. See, now you can twist it, but I actually twisted the wrong way there. Let me see. That's actually pretty good. Let me take a look at it the other way. Let me remove this. Put it down right here. They actually look pretty leveled right there. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back right here. Put that down like that. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything back up. I'll start with these two down here. Tighten this center one. I didn't loosen those, so those are pretty good to go. Just double checking either way. Make sure I snug that up because I don't want to. Remember, don't go too tight and break it, man. You know your own strength, so be careful. It's also been time where I'm making a video and I'm telling, hey, you know your own strength, and I mess it up myself. So right there, we don't want this too tight because then you're bending on the shaft. And right there, we're ready to go, man. This is the old gas I pulled out of it. Look how dark that gas is, man. I'm gonna go dump out that bad gas. I'll be right back. Now I'm gonna fill it up with good gas. I mixed it up the right way this time. Let's get that in there. Look way different. It don't even look real dark like the other one did. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and prime it. I'm gonna prime it a few times because on this one right here, when you prime it, it pumps the gas, and if you keep priming it, it's just gonna pump the gas into the tank. So we'll get some new gas in there as I'm priming it. I'm just trying to make sure I get all that bad gas. Either way, it would burn that gas out of there. And then on this side over here, hopefully you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. What you do, you want to put it on pull choke and give it one pull, and it should start. I'm still a little bit off on my thing. I'm gonna have to adjust it. It should start and then turn off because it's a cold start. So normally pump about 5 times, 6 times, but I pumped it a bunch to try to get some of that old gas out of it, mixed in with the other one. Here we go. And then usually when it turns off like that, I put it at half choke. And don't pump it again, and it should turn on. Much better. Alright, the reason you hear me say much better because like I said, with that other gas where I had mixed it 20 to 1, where I mixed it way too much, I was having to pull like 4 or 5 times to get it started. Now it's starting up with one crank. Right there, it should start up pretty easy. Let me see. Jump into already on. See that? That's what I'm talking about. Good, man, because I was already upset because I was like, that's a freaking brand new wheel and I'm having to like, crank it that many times to get it going, but that's what it was. Like I said, I mixed the gas wrong. Do a little bit over there by the fence. All right, once it warms up, we're supposed to start with one pull. Let's give it a try. FS 56 RC Stihl weed eater. Like I said, if you're having trouble, it could be something that easy, like you mixed the gas wrong or something. Alright, I wasn't planning on getting dirty, but you seen as I cleaned that, you seen how easy it started up, man. Let me show you again. And it starts up easy now that I got it done the right way. So mix the gas right. If you mixed it wrong, take it apart like I showed you. Clean it all up. Alright, this is the gas. The old gas I was in there. Look how dark it is. I put like way too much oil on that sucker. So now we got it going. And that's how to clean your little screen. Just pull it off like that. The screen's easy to clean. You just pull off this part right here. Pull off the 3 screws. Unscrew right there. Philip. Pull the screen off, clean it, and you're good to go. The spark plug's gonna be a little bit harder because even if you try to yank it through here, you might mess up the wire. That's why I went ahead and took it apart right here the other way. But we got it going. I'm gonna put that away later. Subscribe if you want. If you don't, subscribe anyway. Help me out. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, wait, wait. They're trying to look at it, man. Quit moving it. No. Okay, here we go. That's what we worked on right over here. Later.